Hello and welcome to the stream that answers the question why will Neil get arrested. Today is a stream that is not supposed to be. We don't normally stream on Wednesdays. But you might have guessed, why are we streaming on Wednesdays? God damn it, I don't even have my water. I'm not even too prepared. There is no startup to this. We are just starting. The reason why we are doing this stream so urgently is because of the fact that the war has come to a ceasefire, a 2-week ceasefire to be exact, and we just had to talk about this. So let me get this straight. Wednesday is not a day we stream. There has been literally no shout out before, so I'm just gonna keep yapping. And I'm gonna try and finish this as early as possible. We'll give it like 5 minutes for people to join in, but that is about it on what I am going to be giving people for today. Yeah. Hey, saw it? Saw what? This is like an urgent stream. It is not going to be like something that's gonna take too long. Maybe like max an hour, minimum 30 minutes. I'm not going to be here for long. I am working, so I need to get back to that. I'm just here to talk about the new news that is happening. Yeah, working exactly. This is also work, to be fair. This is also work, to be fair. Anyway, while we are here, how's it going? How's it going with you? What's happening? What's new? Wednesday is weird to be live on, to be fair, completely frank with you. Oh, Jesus. We're waiting 5 minutes, guys. 5 minutes for the people to come in. Then we can head back again to, sorry, I'm out. Fine, okay. It is not a, yes, fine, don't worry about it. This is not a streaming day. Normally, we are just doing this because of important news that has been coming in, which is actually peak importance. I will get some water. Give me a second. Hold on. Let me get me some water to the hydration thing. Give me a second. Translate. What is the statement by President Macron? Okay. Second. Okay, 5 minutes. Yo, this should be like 10,000 points where you have to order a small pizza. I don't have money to order a pizza. Neither is going to be good for myself to order a pizza because I am under strict orders not to have too many pizzas. Also, 10,000 points is not that much. I would rather have it on like 10, like getting like a tier membership and then asking me to order a pizza or something. Like, put your money where your mouth is. That kind of a shit. Anyway, let's just begin. I really do not have the time on my hands, to be very honest with you. So we are going to... Oh, Jesus, what is this? The Bundsregistrung.d, we thank Pakistan. Welcoming is fine. Anyway, so for people who do not know, there has been a ceasefire from... Hold on, why is my light not working? Jesus, this is such a fucking mess. Such a fucking mess. Hold on. Hype train just started. Hi, thank you for the hype. Someone send me a hype. Oh, that's Pookie. Hey, Jesus Christ, Pookie. Pookie, you really don't have to. It is fine. I'm not going to question this. I'm really not going to question this. Yes, thank you for the pizza money, Pookie. Okay, thank you so much again for the pizza money. Lol. Yes, let's just begin because this is going to be. Thank you so much for gifting. Total of 27. Make sure to wash it on. Waste it on unnecessary stuff. I will make sure to waste it on a very unnecessary stuff. But let's get to the matter at hand. I'm gonna just begin this again. Hello and welcome to the stream that answers the question why will needed arrested. Thank you so much again for the gifts. And seriously, that actually quite means a lot to me. Having said that, ladies, gentlemen, and bees, the ceasefire is only for 2 weeks. It has been said, and we need to talk about it. And it is extremely important to talk about it because what it means for India, especially. Yeah, ceasefire only 2 weeks, but at least the ships can pass and no bombs. The bomb issue was from America. The issue was never because of Iran itself. Like, America is the one who invaded. It is kind of America's fault. America came in, fucked everything up for everyone, and now it is claiming victory again, but that is obviously going to happen. So we are just going to talk about what is going on with this. I know America ain't doing bombs for 2 weeks. Yeah, exactly. Like, to end all be all, at least within these discussions, we can know that Iran won. Iran literally won. Sorry, excuse me for a second. Iran has won for at least 2 weeks. Iran can claim that they have been able to get a ceasefire with all of their important points accepted. To go into details, Iran had asked for non-aggression by the US Israel towards Iran. It had also asked for a broader conflict resolution, but I don't think that has been accepted, or even if that has been accepted, it is not being followed. Acceptance of enrichment, that has been lifting of primary sanctions, which they have achieved, lifting of all secondary sanctions they have been achieved, termination of all UN Security Council resolutions. This is more on the lines of like all resolutions and all deals need to be assessed by the Security Council, mostly because there is Russia and China are part of this. Termination of AI Board of Governor resolutions, payment of compensation to Iran, withdrawal of US combat from the region, which has been accepted, cessation of war on all fronts, including a heroic Islamic resistance of Lebanon. This part has not been accepted. I mean, it has been accepted on face value, but they are still bombing Lebanon. It has agreed. The thing here is that Iran was able to defeat the US-Israel hegemony. Even though US is a much bigger economy, it has far more weapons, far more bombs, far more everything, and was still able to defeat US-Israel to at least a standstill. At least a standstill. On that note, let's begin. This is another conflict thing that's going on in Lebanon, not this. People really did assume that Trump was losing. We said it before, like Trump is fucking losing. I think both have mutually won something. No, they haven't. But nothing will undo the damage done by both aggressors, US and Israel. US did not win anything, okay. US literally won nothing.
March 3rd, we won the war.
Anyway, so I don't know if you can hear this because I cannot. So this was for the past month. This was Trump.
March 7th, we defeated Iran. March 9th, we must attack Iran.
Can you hear this?
March 9th again. The war is ending almost completely and very.
The hype chat open? What is this? Oh. The US won in the ceasefire because for at least 2 weeks they can strategize. US has been doing that in the background anyway. Like US does not need a 2-week break for it. Like US really does not need a break for it. That is the problem. The break is far more beneficial to Iran than it is to the US. US took care of the, what's the word for, like for US the market are going to be stable for 2 weeks, which is far more important for Trump anyway. So that is the thing in that scenario. I don't know if you can hear this. Tell me if you can hear this.
March 9th, we must attack Iran.
I mean, I always say Trump is a businessman. No, he's not even a businessman. He failed as a businessman. He had to be bailed out every time he went into business, into anything.
March 3rd, we won the war. March 7th.
Jesus Christ, why is this not playing? Hold on. Oh yeah, my headphones are connected. I'm a fucking idiot. Yeah, the 90s were ass for him. Like his entire life was ass for him. Like seriously, his entire ass was.
March 3rd, we won the war. March 7th, we defeated Iran. March 9th, we must attack Iran. March 9th again. The war is ending almost completely and very beautifully. March 11th, we must attack Iran. March 12th, we did win, but we haven't won completely yet. March 13th, we won the war. March 14th, please help us. March 15th, if you don't help us, I will certainly remember it. March 16th, I was just testing to see who's listening to me. March 16th again, if NATO doesn't help, they will be suffering something very bad. March 17th, we neither need or want NATO's help. March 17th, I don't need congressional approval to withdraw from NATO. March 18th, our allies must cooperate in reopening the Strait of Hormuz. March 19th, U.S. allies need to get a grip, step up, and help open the Strait of Hormuz. March 20th, NATO are cowards. March 21st, the Strait of Hormuz must be protected by the countries that use it. We don't use it. We don't need to open it. March 22nd, this is the last time. I will give Iran 48 hours. Open the strait. March 22nd, Iran is dead. March 23rd, we had very good talks and productive talks with Iran. March 24th.
Tomorrow's the election. Yes, I know, Pookie, I know. I was going to cover that live. We'll see. It's going to be fun to see how the LDF versus UDF goes around. Kerala, Assam, Pondicherry, and I have forgot the rest. The rest are later. Tomorrow is just Kerala.
We're making progress. March 25th, no major quote. March 26th, make a deal or we'll just keep blowing them away. March 27th, we don't have to be there for NATO. March 28th, no major quote. March 29th, claim talks were progressing. March 30th, open the Strait of Hormuz immediately or face devastating consequences. March 31st, claimed a deal was very close and that Iran would do the right thing. April 1st.
Okay, all three have it tomorrow? Okay. I figured it was only Kerala, but fine, whatever.
We'll see what happens very soon.
All the very best to your father, Pookie.
April 2nd, repeated that deal was likely, while warning continued strikes if not. April 3rd, something big is going to happen. April 4th, Iran must comply immediately or face further consequences.
What? Dude. That's bad. I'm so sorry.
Consequences. April 5th, open the fucking strait, you crazy bastards, or you'll be living in hell. Just watch. Praise be to Allah. That's the fucking president.
Yeah, so not the first time. Okay, I'm just going to focus on this. Give me a moment because I really have to go after. Anyway, so Trump is fucking losing. He knew he was losing. like Iran wouldn't just open the strait whatsoever. This is one of the proofs that Trump was losing for the longest time. The issue that has been presented with before Trump in this point of time was that while they were losing as they did not have a way out, then came yesterday when they announced that the ceasefire is going to be a thing and the ceasefire may be for longer. Now, realize what would be Trump's inner thinking and psychology be at this time? He feels that they won this war and they want to extend the victory lap as much as possible because the reality is they lost the war.
President Trump forged this moment. Iran begged for this ceasefire, and we all know it. As the President truth this morning, a big day for world peace. Iran wants it to happen. They've had enough. Operation Epic Fury was a historic and overwhelming
Pro-MAGA newspapers are saying whatever Hexer is saying, that this is a historic victory for Trump, which is not true.
victory on the battlefield. A capital V military victory. By any measure, Epic Fury decimated Iran's military and rendered it combat ineffective for years to come. You see, in less than 40 days, one of our combatant commands, Central Command, CENTCOM, using less than 10% of America's total combat power, dismantled one of the world's
Guys, if you're new here, do not forget to follow.
largest militaries. The world's leading state sponsor of terrorism proved
So, by the way, world's leading sponsor of state terrorism is Israel.
utterly incapable of defending itself, its people, or its territory. President
Anyway, so this came from Hexet. Obviously, he wanted to go with this war because Israel wanted to go with this war. It has been a thing. The issue before India, like because we are more India-centric in this pod, because we talk about India quite a lot, we have to also talk about what happened surrounding this. This ceasefire was reportedly, Hexer is kind of war criminal. No, he is not kinda. He is a war criminal.
Times now. In fact, we are getting to know that an explosion has been reported at Iran's.
Oh, this is the breach one. Whatever. The one important thing here, one important thing that we have to understand is the people who brokered the peace, at least on paper, were Pakistan. The peace started when Shehbaz Sharif, he's a leader of Pakistan, he went around and said, with great humility, I am pleased to announce that the Islamic Republic of Iran and United States of America, along with their allies, have agreed to an immediate ceasefire everywhere, including Lebanon and elsewhere, effective immediately. They have not, they breached the ceasefire by attacking Lebanon, but that is something we'll get to in a bit. I warmly welcome the sagacious gesture and extend the deepest gratitude to the leadership of both the countries and invite the delegations to Islamabad on Friday, this Friday, on the 10th of April 2026 to further negotiate for a conclusive agreement to settle all disputes. By the way, has Van said anything about this? He has. It's the same bullshit. It's literally the same thing. Trump won the war and whatever. Both parties have displayed remarkable wisdom and understanding and have remained considerably engaged in furthering. The issue here for India especially is this gives Pakistan a view that Pakistan is one of the peace negotiators or the peace negotiator within Asia. This greatly diminishes the Indian stance within the region. Now, we have covered this before, how India is losing ground, especially since OP Sindoor. Where India, hey mate, your stream vibes are awesome. I followed to show some love. Keep grinding. Thank you. If you're on Discord, I would love to connect. Oh, thank you so much. We have a Discord community if you want to join. Discord. Oh, it's a bot. Okay. I had no idea. I don't know. Anyway, so what has happened in this scenario is that India really has lost a lot of ground within the international community. This is horrible because of India's lowering economic index, India's employment devastation. Like at this point, it is not just a crisis. India has been devastated when it comes to the employment crisis. India's weakening relationships with Russia, Iran, China, and all of its neighbors. This has started since OP Sindoor, where India was absolutely isolated from every other country while claiming that, oh my God, we are isolating the Pakistan. But that did not really happen at all. Having said this, this presents a very bad outlook for India's future within Asia, where India will not be looked at as someone which is a peaceful country or can provide a structure for peace, while Pakistan will be. And any other conflicts coming up, whichever side is at fault for any whichever conflict, the world will default to what Pakistan has to say, because Pakistani voices are now going to be on par or even greater than India's. Something that we have been warning to since like the shit show that happened with OP Sindoor. Like, to be completely fair, OP Sindoor was the tipping point where India stopped becoming a voice within the world peace talks and started becoming the joke of the talks. That is what it is. That is as it is. Spoke with a dear friend, HRH Prince Mohammed bin Salem, Crown Prince and Prime Minister of Saudi, and conveyed Pakistan's unwavering solidarity with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, condemned today's attack on Al Jubilee oil factory. We stand shoulder to shoulder with Saudi brothers and sisters, appreciate the Kingdom's restraint. This is a big step forward for Pakistan, and they have become the MVP of the region. It doesn't matter, by the you live tomorrow? Yes, I'm live tomorrow. It doesn't really matter at this point of time, whether you're Indian, whether you're Pakistani, whether you're anyone. You have to concur with the fact that Pakistan has just won. It is blazing ahead when it comes to foreign policy. One of the reasons why we have lagged so badly is because of our dear Prime Minister was visiting Israel, like the day Israel decided to attack Iran. India did not even condemn the attacks and the death of Al Khamenei until the very last second, which was very telling. Because India's relationship with Iran was like best friends, India broke that deal. India broke that relationship badly to favor and side with Israel and Iran. To be honest, Modi fulfilled his purpose making Vishwaguru. He didn't say which country. Lol. The issue here that has become now of India, is that India has become a pariah state. Where if tomorrow something were to go wrong, whether or not if it's our fault or not, no country is going to come for India's defense. Because our greatest allies are looking at the country that we have deemed our greatest enemy. I say deemed because I don't believe that is true. And they look at that as their greatest friends. Whether it may be America, whether it may be China, whether it may be Russia, they look at Pakistan as their greatest friend. This is a foreign policy disaster. And when this point was brought up like 2 weeks ago, our Indian government, rather the Red-Eye Jaishankar, went on to call Pakistan a Dalal nation. Dalali brokering a peace talks between countries was the forefront of the Indian foreign policy for the longest time. We didn't want to choose sides. We wanted to be a place for peace because we wanted to be the table that Turkey was and now Pakistan is. Hey, how are you doing?
Okay, the big breaking story right now, India's...
What does Dalal mean? A broker. It's like a very negative sense, broker.
External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar has just hit out at Pakistan, calling it a Dalal country, and that India is not a Dalal country. Dalal is a Hindi word for broker or middleman. It's an impolite word which S. Jaishankar,
This was 2 weeks ago.
India's External Affairs Minister,
It's more like Pakistan and India topic, kind of like a mix of where India is failing at foreign policy.
has just used to strike out at Pakistan over the politics that has erupted here in India, where the opposition has been questioning the government over why Pakistan has stepped up to mediate between Iran and the United States, which is not confirmed, by the way, but
It's confirmed now.
that India has stayed silent. This whole accusation that India has been silent through this crisis, that's S. Jaishankar, the External Affairs Minister, reacting and saying India is not a dalal country or a broker country like Pakistan. He's lashed out at Pakistan.
Why is External Affairs Minister using such language? Because he has nothing else to say, nothing better to say. The moment you see people using this kind of language literally just means that they have nothing better to say. They are just doing it just to deflect the situation of themselves. India has become a pariah state within internationally. Everyone fucking hates us, especially because of what Modi and Jaishankar are doing and the closeness they have with Israel.
At this all-party meet, Aishwarya Jain from our political team is live with me. Aishwarya, a detailed discussion and rebuttal at this all-party meeting where S. Jaishankar, External Affairs Minister, in that all-party meeting, in front of the opposition, has basically lashed out, responded to them and said, India is not a dalal country like Pakistan.
Well, direct questions were asked by the Congress party and the Samajwadi party to the External Affairs Minister that why it is Pakistan which is acting as intermediary between the United States and Iran. In a very blunt way, it is External Affairs Minister.
वो तो यूएस ज़्यादा क्लोज है, आप कह रहे हो लोग यूएस को काम and इंडिया को ज़्यादा. What are you saying, Tyler? I'm saying Pakistan is getting so much ground in the international politics right now. It is bad for India, and for next time something goes wrong. That is what I'm saying. No one is like, Trump doesn't give a shit about what India has to say in this scenario because India does not have bargaining power. I have a Pakistani friend working as banker in SG. He is also talking about Saudi stuff. Okay. So it's good for and the reason why it's an L for India is not because that being close to US is good. It is an L for India is because India is not looked at anymore as someone with a spine, someone with the power to back themselves up. What India is being looked at right now is just a vassal of the US, not an independent state. That is what it means when Iran doesn't choose India to negotiate between everyone. Because India and Iran were very close allies. India has been a bad relationship with India. Why would US call? No, like, okay, you mean US, okay. So the reason why the relationship is bad is because we don't have a spine anymore. Since OP Sindoor, we lost our footing within the region. You do realize that. Pakistan have nuclear though. India has well. Every single country in this conversation has a nuclear, except of Iran. When did India had any powers? When did ever India had anything like it? India was looked at as a very dependable country for brokering peace from the start. Indian foreign policy was based around that we can broker peace. That's what even the Jaishankar and Modi coalition wanted during the Russia-Ukraine, where they kept saying like, oh wait, we need to make, we can broker peace between Russia and Ukraine. Give us a chance. What footing? We had so much footing. We had economic backing. We were close to both Russia and US. We were close to Iran. Iran was literally our best friend. We were buying shit from both sides. Like, we were buying things from Russia. We were buying things from US. We had a footing. Like, I don't know how old you are. You might be like really young, like what, 15, 16. You mean China must be crying because they didn't mediate for ceasefire? No, China is part of this. China is part of this. Like China was part of this. There is always the rumor that China was mediating between this. But again, the point wasn't that China is not part of the mediation. The point is Pakistan was chosen as the table, while India desperately wanted to be the table. Like what Turkey is, like for any conversation that we are having within the Middle East, Turkey was normally the table. Nehru formed NAM, put our Suez Canal crisis, MMS, made a nuclear deal which no other country got, but India did. Now no one is even standing with India, let alone helping listen. Yeah, exactly. See, India had a lot of power before. We don't have any now. And this is proof of that. Like Jaishankar came out and called Pakistan a Dalal nation. While Indian
Minister,
foreign policy was always about brokering peace to show our strength as well within the conversation. We wanted to be the table of Asia because they had border with Iran basis. No. Like what? They should choose in Kazakhstan as well then? Should India just work more with China? Yes, India should work more with China. That is true. No. Like Tyler, doesn't matter if you have... Hey, my fellow brethren. Hello, Zach. Tyler, I don't think you do understand this. Like, border doesn't mean shit. India always a loser country? No, India was not a loser country before. I don't think you were alive when India was not a loser country. I think you were born in 2014.
This is telling us
India was not always a loser country. India was a stronghold. The thing that India was going to be a superpower came in because of the previous government's economic policies. It had a systematic basis. Like India used to undervalue its own GDP to show, look how well we are doing, even though we have the capacity to have more GDP. That is how strong India was. Like the formulae and calculations that India used to use was far more stringent than it is using right now. I don't know why everyone wants to become Chaudhary of the world. Like why? I don't know what you mean. When was India at its peak, in your opinion? India was at its peak, in my opinion, around like 2004, 5, 6. India was really looked at as like the next it thing in the world, I would argue. It kind of went downhill since then, since at least 2014 anyway. That is, I would say, like Obama era, India was literally at its peak. We got Obama to come into India and call Pakistan a terrorist state. Like no prime minister, like no president of America does any of that shit. That was like 2011. Indians were looked at as like extremely smart, extremely capable, especially within like the geopolitics of India. Like seriously. No, he's just saying that isn't that stirring shit? No, this was after like a terrorist attack, like 26/11 terrorist attack on India. He's just saying that because his agenda meets that time. No, but as like, do you really think I have an agenda here other than India getting better geopolitically? Even my argument here is not that we need to be so much better. My argument here is not agenda driven to the point that there is like I am anti-BJP agenda, running an anti-BJP agenda. I am not anti-BJP because I hate BJP or love Congress or love any app or whatever. I am anti-BJP because they're actively bad for the country. I don't like, I'm going to say this like internationally speaking, Congress is probably not going to do for any much better anyway. Rather than a complete overhaul of foreign policy, if they don't do it, they are not going to do any better. Same with like you can talk about the same with app. You can talk about literally anyone. I do not give a shit. I am not politically affiliated to any one of these people. I'm very much affiliated to India because India is still my country. Comparing parties like comparing Pepsi and Coca-Cola, yeah, exactly. Even if you tell me like tomorrow Congress is in power and Congress fucks up this badly, I'm going to be like, fuck that too. Who gives a shit? I'm not affiliated with anyone. I'm affiliated with fucking Indians. India is my country and Indians are my people. Political parties be damned. Tyler has been here since literally day one and he has been trying to shit on this since literally day one. Like, I'm not even joking. Tyler was literally the first Sangi to be here. Like, I appreciate him, to be honest, because he gives me shit to make fun of. But seriously, yeah. Him thinking like I have an agenda after all this time is just like weird. Maybe I think he has nothing more to say on this note, I guess.
That in that all-party meeting, it is the External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar who stated that India cannot act as the middleman or a dalal country like Pakistan, as the United States is using Pakistan since 1981, and there is a dynamic equation between the United States and Pakistan, but we cannot act like that. We are a sovereign country and we have our own individual identity. Certainly what Pakistan is, how United States is using Pakistan is something that India does not stand. So what equation Washington...
I'm not a Sangi. They just want power no matter the cost. I want honesty. I'm giving you honesty and you're calling me a... I'm giving you literal honesty and you're calling me like I have an agenda. You think I get paid by like political parties? No, it's not blue Coke. I am not drinking Coke, my friend. I am drinking Fizz Up. It is not on the BDS list. It does not push money into Coca-Cola, Pepsi or any Israeli affiliated brands. This is a local... I don't know, copy. Yeah, Indian media की बहुत गांड जलती है. That is true. Like, they have to defend one of the most indefensible people out there. In their own mentality, somehow they're managing it, which is like props to them. They can say shit around. Where's my cut from Congress and Pakistan payment? I wish. I have none. I have criticized every major political party in the bus. Yes, that is true. Not you, like everyone in the country. We were taught honesty is the best policy. Yes, I am very trying to be honest with everyone. Why do you think this is like, Tyler? I don't think you understand. I don't have to do much. I really don't have to do much here. I just have to look at news articles and be honest to you guys. That is how much people are lied to in India. Where honesty seems like an agenda. They just follow money, man. They do whatever they are doing just for... Yes, that is true. That they literally follow money and TRP. Like, you're getting there. Good. Like, Hiren Joshi was a thing. Don't forget. If people do not know who Hiren Joshi was, he was a mastermind controlling Godi media. He used to send like a message in the morning, early morning, what to cover for the day on a group chat on WhatsApp. After seeing Modi's fascist Gobar era, my respect for Nehru has increased. Nehru was amazing for foreign diplomacy. He was a diplomatic genius. Like, honest to God. Like, I swear, Nehru was a diplomatic genius. I have issues with Nehruvian socialism. It wasn't the best. It pandered a lot to the upper castes and like upper caste businesses, like specifically upper caste businesses. So that is the only thing I can say like negatively about it. Oh yeah, I have water too. Yes, that is true. Yes, I have water. But like, I have criticisms of literally everyone. Only if he could have aligned more with communists, he was afraid that they may take over. No. So what happened within Nehru's reign was like, he got a lot of Sanghi people involved. Like, RSS did a lot of entryism through the years. a lot of his support was also like very anti-communist, anti-socialist policies, because RSS has been for the longest time like a very corporate capitalist party. So they did a lot. Plus, he had a lot of issues within his own party, like he didn't get much support. That was a major problem. That's why he kept pandering to like the industrialists. Congress was a big tent party, conservative to socialist still is. Yes, that is a problem because having conservatives in the party is like being like, I have cancer and I'm like okay with it. But he said he loves India and the people, were you not listening? I do love it. I mean, no, Bliss is saying that I don't have to do any of this. Anyone who loves India has to hate BJP. I wouldn't say has to hate BJP. I would just say like, if you love India, you naturally come to the conclusion that you hate the BJP. There is an entrism in Fasai as well. Fasai is all of Fasai is just packed up with Sanghis at this point. Like they are party loyalists, all of Fasai. Like at this point, there's nothing more that can be said. There's like that's what it is. I mean, I also want Indian liberation. That's the goal, that's the ideology. Yeah, Indian liberation from capitalism, yes, agreed. Like I'm gonna be very clear, BJP is not it's not the disease. RSS ideology is the disease. Hate politics in general, corruption is too high, be it BJP, Congress. Yes, true. You should definitely follow for that because you're 100% right. Ideologies matter a lot within political parties. Like in India, the issue is that they have killed ideological politics whatsoever. BJP has gone from a socialist to a capitalist to a fascist to a conservative. All of that just to gain the vote. Same with Congress and its soft Hindutva. AAP is like a center-right party themselves. It is like party politics is never going to make India good. We need to really teach people what is political ideologies, what is socialism, what is communism, why capitalism is bad for you, for example, something on those lines. That is the only way we get out of this bullshit. Like, to be honest to God, that is literally the only way we get out of this bullshit. Anyway, moving back to this.
And Islamabad holds, we do not want to engage in it. If it is Pakistan which is...
Where do you think Nepal is going? Liberals won. I am not going to comment on what is happening in Nepal. My own house is on fire. Honestly, I don't care. I have a Nepali friend. He says that he'll keep talking about it as long as he can, and he's doing good. Nepal is going to shit right now. But we will see what happens. At least they had the balls to do something, to be very frank with you.
Which is a Dalal country, certainly, quote unquote. That's what the External Affairs Minister clearly answered to the questions to the opposition parties. And India is not a broker country or a Dalal country, is something that very bluntly...
See, this is one of the reasons, like, this idea that they can just be like, oh, India is not a Dalal country and insult Pakistan, what they're doing, to put pressure or like make it seem like what they're doing is something that is bad. What the fuck? Israel did a strike? Yes, Israel did a strike on Lebanon. Israel did a strike on Lebanon. Yes, true. Or did they do a strike more on something else? Did they strike Iran? No, Israel's biggest Lebanon attack. I've only heard Lebanon. Yeah. No, biggest coordinated strike is on Lebanon. That was tangentially part of this. Because that shit is open here for me. Hold on, where is this? Why Lebanon? Why are they... So, Iran has Israel has the Greater Israel Project, under which they want to take control of parts of like Saudi, parts of Egypt, parts of Lebanon, Iraq, all of those. So they are gonna keep attacking them as much as possible. Okay. Ceasefire violation. Oh Jesus, they started again. Israel hasn't halted its attack on Lebanon, and that might lead to. Yes, that happened. Saw some news attack on Iranian oil refinery as well. Yeah, like I'm looking at Al Jazeera right now. They said like Kuwait says oil facility power station struck in Iranian drone attack. But can you? I'm gonna go check quickly. This is fucking horrible. What the fuck? This did not last. Thank God we are live. Ben Stokes ये बीबी कब चूतिया he what Ben Stokes ये बीबी कब चूतिया no so the thing is they are not going to stop this. They literally have a Greater Israel Project. They want to do Akhand Bharat basically. Refining company confirms attack on Lavan refinery. Shan reports. Jesus fucking Christ. Hold on. Like this is under the Greater Israel Project, guys. Don't forget. April 8th, an oil refinery on Iran's Lavan Island was targeted in an enemy attack on Wednesday, which caused no casualties. National Iranian Oil Refining and Distribution Company said, according to the oil ministry news outlet. They keep creating mythology like claiming to be lost tribe. Same thing they did in Northeast India with Kukizo. What do you mean Kukizo? Hello, first timer. Please follow Papa. Thank you. Please follow me if you can. I don't know how this has devolved from you guys calling me Pap. Like first, like just my name Neil, then calling me Pap, then calling me Papa now. Like, okay. Shit, like fuck. Adding safety firearm teams are working. Jesus fucking Christ, these fucking ass hats. Like I have mostly nothing to say on this. Jesus, this is just happening. Like they are the lost. Abhi to Akhand Bharat mein Poland bhi aayega. They have said like even like Australia, Australia kind of shit. They try to cover everything they can. They're fucking horrid. This is the same thing Israel is doing with the Greater Israel Project. Like let me just show you quickly. It is something that is like. Give me 1 second. Load. This is what they want to do. Like part of Syria, complete Lebanon, part of Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Palestine, Iraq. That's the Greater Israel Project. I think they say something like it was promised by Vishnu 10,000 years ago. Something. Oh, okay. Lol. What is the thing with Kukizu? What is the thing with Kukizo? Check Siddharth Sibal's Twitter account. Okay. Like he's not the most trusted, to be very frank with you. He like Vion News is not very trusted. Says Iran White House President Levitt tells Lebanon is not part of the ceasefire agreement. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Thank God. Some of them Jews ancestry converted and went to Israel. Ah, okay. Have Nagali starts playing. Okay. No. So a lot of them actually, a lot of Indians actually went to Israel, but they found themselves to ended up as like basic slaves over there. People don't realize this. Israel has a caste system themselves. Anyway, have you heard of Azad Parliament? I have not heard of Azad Parliament, no. I can check quickly. It's a fellowship 3-month journey. What is this about? Subhash Chandra Bose. Premier Parliamentary Leadership Program. What about this? Shashi Tharoor, I think, was part of this. What about this? I've never understood this expansion logic. First they cry there is a problem with minorities, that they take over, then they talk about expansion like they will actually be the minorities, and the minorities. Okay, so there's a lot of shit over there that I'm gonna have to talk about just to clear that up. So you have to realize this, that Israel just wants the land, not its people. This is part of their plan, like targeting southern Lebanon to take over it. But the way they want to take over it is by unaliving anyone. See, they could have taken over West Bank in the 1980s. They could have taken over Gaza in the 1980s, 1990s. Every time they had a war, they could have taken over. The reason that they did not, and Ben Guer, he has said it himself. The reason that they did not take over this was because they would be in the minority, because they did not have enough Jews or Israelis within that region. So what they are trying to do, and the reason why they keep killing babies, is to reduce the native population of the Levant to slowly and steadily take over the region as a Israeli colony with majority Israeli Jews. Azad Parliament about making a group of young people into a place of power to change things, not political abilities, but for India like a transparent government. That's all I'm gonna say, or rather do, or rather show. If you have been here, if you are here long enough, you will understand the whole idea behind this live streaming and trying to educate people in social and political education and trying to cover certain topics. Like, I can just tell you that is like not that big of an issue. I'm just trying to be more dramatic about this. I'm not just doing this as a way to explain you the news. You're smart enough to do it yourself. We are here trying to achieve a goal. Anyway, there has been one more update. Israel launches 1,000 strikes in 10 minutes.
The Israeli military launched what it said were 100.
Akhand Bharat is mostly meme. Pakistan has nukes, and I don't think so current government will invade other countries. Not like they want to, but it's still just propaganda. Yes, it is a propaganda shit, but it is a propaganda shit that works for the Sanghi masses. The reason why Akhand Bharat is a thing is they want to distract the people of India into thinking Akhand Bharat is a thing. They are never going to achieve it, no matter how much they try. The only way to achieve Akhand Bharat is a European Union style agreement of free travel, free trade, and free movement, mobility within the region. That is the closest thing you can have as an Akhand Bharat within the South Asia. Other than that, there is nothing. Absolutely nothing. Like, you are not never going to take over that region.
Airstrikes at multiple locations across Lebanon within the span of 10 minutes. I am on the scene of one of them in central Beirut.
Sorry.
These strikes, I must stress, that
yes, Hindu masses have believed in two-nation theory. Why would they want Akhand Bharat? They are Hindu separatists. Exactly.
they came without
No nuclear told ya. Yeah, no, there is no nuclear. That's good.
warning. They came at a moment of confusion across Lebanon
India got whooped by Pakistan in Sindoor. That is sadly true, yes.
as to whether the regional
Give me
ceasefire
a second.
applied here. We had, statements from the Pakistani Prime Minister. Pakistan had been key to the negotiations between the US and Iran, saying that it did apply. And then at 6 a.m. local time, we had the Israeli Prime Minister saying that no, the ceasefire did not apply here in Lebanon. and the Israeli military has made that abundantly clear this afternoon. This is one of the most devastating days of the war in Lebanon. We are having mass casualty events declared at multiple hospitals. Authorities here are calling for doctors, nurses, with anyone with medical experience to go to the locations. This one here in central Beirut, the devastation is extraordinary. Okay, I apologize. Something has changed here on the location. The Lebanese army is once again asking me to move as they try to clear this site, one of multiple across Beirut, where the Israeli army has destroyed buildings, residential towers. We don't yet know the death toll here in Beirut, but it is sure to be devastating.
Sorry guys, sorry. क्या हो पुरानी बेइज्जती हो गई कितनी जीत? What? Dude, what are you guys talking about? Like seriously, what are you talking about? क्या how पुरानी बेइज्जती हो गई? कितनी जेट गिरे ये बोलने का दम भी नहीं रहा. Oh, you're talking about OP Sindoor. Okay. So it's not like people, like it's not that the jets are falling. That's the issue with OP Sindoor. Like jets falling here and there, that is completely irrelevant to the conversation. The conversation about OP Sindoor is, I understand wanted to criticize the government, but wanting your nation loss. No. People misunderstand. That. The conversation that it is failure that we can achieve Ghanta. See, we didn't achieve anything, but both of you are wrong about OP Sindoor. India has withdrawn its offer to host conference COP in 20... Really? Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. That is also happening. The reason why OP Sindoor was a failure, because it isolated India on an international level. Jet thing is also true. It may be true. I am just saying it is absolutely bullshit of a thing to even discuss. It doesn't matter. Losing jets does not matter. What matters is the fallout. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, the Indian government does not like this, like what is happening with Pakistan. Mod tier Chengdu J10 dominated over top tier Rafale. Yes, that is okay. Like, yeah, that did. Like Yakman 1945. I do understand what you are getting at. You don't want India to lose. I don't want India to lose either. The point is, it did. Because when you talk about a war kind of situation that is happening, that was happening during OP Sindoor, first of all, they did not need to go to war. That is first thing. The second thing that happened within that scenario, even if they lost the jets, whatever, that is also something different. Like, military losses are important, but this is not about the whole thing. What it ended up being is, it was like, again, I said, beizati within the international community. The fallout of this is also right now where India is left out of the conversation when it comes to brokering peace. कुछ करना भी था तो ढंग से करते, बेइज्जती करवा ली. ऐसा तो पाकिस्तान के साथ भी है, और AF Pakistan skirmish. Yeah, that is true. So they rushed into the conversation because of a lot of different issues. So no more like solar subsidies. The solar subsidies are still only provided to Adanis. They are the only ones. If they choose to give solar, they are the only ones going to do solar. India has withdrawn its offer to host the United Nations annual climate conference parties to government officials familiar with the matter told. India communicated its decisions to not host conference this month, this official said, but it was not immediately clear why the government has pulled out. Let me tell you why. But that's just me. This because India was left out of the conversation here, and they really can't take the whole thing like, oh my god, was India left out, oh my god, and they are like, international beizzati hui hai, to like let it just be like, show our lal aankhein and laser eyes by saying we are not going to host COP anymore. Congratulations. It's not like COP does much. Also, guys, India is going the American way anyway with it. This, like, it's sucking up to America while America does not give it too much bhav. I think Yakman felt like super bad. And he just left after the OP Sindur comment. I mean, I didn't. They cut 10,000 trees in Brazil. Yeah, exactly. It is not really. See, COP is pointless at the end of the day. It is, I'm an environmentalist. Let me begin by saying my IRL job is in marine biology. So pulling out of COP itself has been completely pointless as an endeavor. But it also is like a signifier that India is like being pissy pants right now over something like that. This coming right after Pakistan getting the shabashi for being the table on which the peace was brokered temporarily. So this is like them crying, like saying like, oh my god, look, I'm like, I want my place back. I want my place back. Please, please. What does pulling out of COP do because Pakistan acted like a middleman? Like, make it make sense. They are just trying to be like, hey, we are not happy with this, so we are going to throw a tantrum like we normally do. Like, how are we going to face US? Oh, Scarvo, thank you for the gift sub. Thank you so much. Yeah, they're fucking crybabies. They're fucking crybabies. They can't be happy for 5 seconds. Also, India lost not because Rafale are bad, but because government is stupid, started something without any thought. That is true. Rafale lost to J-10s, not because J-10s is better. J-10s are better. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Have you heard the good news and the bad news that came in within like 2 hours? Literally, I'm not even joking. They announced a ceasefire and Israel broke it. Radar support which Rafale didn't, as government thought badal hai to radar se bach ja sakte hai. What the fuck? They really think that? Oh shit, source. Yeah, like the ceasefire happened and they broke it immediately. They targeted Iranian oil fields. Israel targeted Iranian oil fields. Anyway. Oh shit, source. Right. I believe Pakistan did the mediation because they had friendly relations with Iran. And military... We had friendly relations with Iran. We have a military corporation with them. Yakman. We have all of this. We were Iran's best friend, where Iran literally went against US sanctions to help India in the 70s and 80s. Like, seriously, is it true that China is leading the WHO now? Like, on paper, it is not true, but more or less. Like, with US pulling out of WHO, there are not a lot of countries that can actually lead the WHO. But it was bound to happen. China has focused a lot more on research and tech and medicine than any other countries involved. Like, I'm being very serious when I say that. China is way ahead. Like, even what you guys may recognize China as, it's way ahead than a lot of other countries when it comes to research. Well, China has some of their nearby airspace closed or off limits. Yes, true. Window of opportunity must be utilized to achieve permanent peace. Erdogan to Trump. This guy is also kind of jealous because Turkey was the initial broker of peace. That's also because India has a hollow tech base. Yes, that is true. That is true, because we focused a lot on exporting talent than actually like nurturing talent in India. Because like, okay, this I actually blame Nehru for. Nehru's focus on like doctors, lawyers, engineers, like the go and get a degree narrative actually failed India horribly in the long term. What China did, on the other hand, was focus on blue collar jobs, created a base for manufacturing through which then the doctors, engineers, or whoever could have been doctors and engineers actually got jobs within the country. That is the reason why India's tech base is so hollow and based on exporting talent instead of like keeping talent within itself. That's why India is a weird economy. We jump directly to service instead of growing through manufacturing. Exactly. We directly jump to service. That is true. That is true. And this is like, I blame a lot of different politicians for a lot of different things in this scenario. It is fucking true that India jumped so much. And like this didn't even have to come through like that. India had a good start even with manufacturing, with being socialist and shit. The issue that happened there was Nehruvian socialism focused the enrichment of the UCs. The UCs wanted doctors, engineers, and all of that sort. So that's why the focus was there. The focus wasn't on like, oh, we need a lot more electricians, welders, because that is what was needed at that time. But nobody focused on it. Like that is still needed. We have a nursing crisis in this age. Nurses are not focused on. Like India has so many people and so many people applying for nurses. India can not only fulfill the nursing sector in India, but also in like UK, which has a historic nursing crisis, Germany, Poland, everywhere. But we don't focus on that. See, we need to focus on education, health, and R&D. First, we need to make our advertising about this correct. Like we are think what we are focusing on even now. We are focusing on the IITs and IIMs. IITs and IIMs create professionals for jobs that are very limited. Even within like this capitalist system, this is how the pyramid is. We are creating jobs for we are creating people with the skill set to be part of like the top 1/3 to top 1/8 of that pyramid. That pyramid is all full. No one is there at the bottom. There is no. That's why at the bottom of this pyramid, like talking from a very capitalistic perspective, there are people who are extremely unskilled doing jobs that they are not supposed to. We also need subsidization for chemical industry. We are too dependent on foreign countries for fertilizers and activated ingredients for medicine. Yes and no. Rather than we subsidizing, we need more efforts into actually building our own, not through subsidies, but by actually funding it outright. Subsidies still involve like a separate company coming in and doing that shit. No, we need government initiatives in that. That is my argument. लोग पढ़ेंगे लिखेंगे तो बीजेपी को वोट क्यों करेंगे? Yes, exactly. Pak outdid India. Who would have thought? Me. I have been saying that for a while. Because this administration tore us down. Again, me. I have been saying this for a while. Also, by the way, on that note, there's a really funny thing. It's like completed beyond this point. I said earlier, and this is like go back to the first stream with the war thing. I said this war is going to end on a Tuesday. It ended on a Tuesday. I'm just happy. I got like the timing wrong very badly. I didn't think it would last this long, but it did. But it did end on a Tuesday. Win. Oh, there's photos. Israeli targets in southern Lebanon, coastal city of Tyre. Oh yeah, no, they had a targeted attack on. There was so much shit I was going to talk about, but forget it now. I mean, it also ended because of Bibi. No, Bibi still wants the attack. That's why he keeps attacking Lebanon. Like the attack on Lebanon is happening for a reason right now. Bibi wants to continue the attacks. Bibi has been consistently demanding. Thank you for gifting us Scar, bro. Bibi has. I have no idea how I'm ever going to pay you back for this. Bibi has been consistently demanding Trump to keep the war going. Like, I am being very clear. Yeah, Bibi wants to burn the world. Like, again, Greater Israel Project is still a thing. Greater Israel Project is still a thing. Never forget. Greater Israel Project needs Bibi to keep attacking everyone around. Trump did MEGA, made Iran great again. Yeah, that is true. Iran has been such like a surprise in this scenario. I mean, Bibi has been saying Iran is 2 weeks away from developing nukes for 40 years. Yeah, exactly. Since 1980s. Yeah. No, since like 40 years, 1980s. Like, there was this video we showed like earlier. Maybe I still have it in my bookmarks. Like, it's literally him saying that. Maybe I have it in my bookmarks. It is quite literally him saying that like Iran is like 2 months away from, or 1 week away from, 7 days away from building a nuclear weapon. Where is this? Hold on, where is this? No, shit, I don't have it. Sorry guys, that video is, I can't find it. But fine, whatever. It's been so much within this scenario. Someone once called Greater Israel Fat Israel, and I like it. Yeah, that is funny. Like, for Indians, the Greater Israel Project just like feels very similar, because I don't know if you know this, there's a Greater India Project going on as well. It's called Akhand Bharat. Like, this is the Greater India Project. Wasn't there a cult in America, Senate, like dispensation, who believed Jesus will come back after? Yes, I've heard of that. I'm not sure if that is like actual thing. So like, Scarbo, the thing is here, Israel and India are extremely similar within a lot of different things. The Greater Israel Project is also the Greater Indian Project, quite literally the same thing. Israel is so connected with India. Like, whenever the right-wing government was in power in India, they sent delegates to Israel to literally, and I'm not joking, learn how they treat Gazans, and that is the same way they treat Indians of lower caste, class, like different religions, and how they treat Kashmiris. There's a map of India from Germany to see. What? I think I've heard of this. Hold on. Yes. Like all of Europe, Moscow and everything. Yeah. I know this. This thing. No, this is the sea route. Hold on. There is this map. I have seen this before. Yes, it is evangelical Christians. They are trying to bring about rapture, and it is not small. Really? See, I've heard of this before. I have known this. The issue here is I just can't really believe it, mostly. Because, like, okay, I understand, but most of these are still going by capitalist interest. Like, even if they say, like, Jesus is going to come back, first of all, he's still going to be Palestinian as before. And second of all, even if Jesus comes back, I think they're still doing it for profit. But that is just my idea of this. Like, it is very hard to believe that they are going to do anything like this that is outside of their capitalist interests. Like, even the war stopping for a brief moment right now is literally because of the markets. The propensity gospel keeps capital close to the heart. Yes. Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. Akhand Bharat can only be a wet dream for Nagpur. Usse aage kuch nahi hoga. Yeah. It's not never going to happen. Like Akhand Bharat is never going to be like an actual dream. Like, it was never going to come to fruition. They're trying to make it come true with Israel since the very beginning. That is why they don't just take over land, they eradicate the people, they genocide the people, they ethnically cleanse babies for a reason. Like, the reason why they keep attacking everyone in Levant. Remember when Trump said, I love my Christians? That is who he was talking to, because they are a substantial voting bloc. Oh. Okay. Oh my fucking God. I did not know that. That is next level idiotic. I wouldn't say it's crazy, because I expect that from Trump. Like, did you hear that Trump has apparently some rumors, like he has apparently been like has taken up Judaism? Like, I heard that as well once upon a time. Like, they are big voter bloc in America. Oh, that's weird. Okay. Israel will do it if nobody stops them. It is, in the other hand, Modi don't have nuts to do it. Modi can't do it. That is the thing. Modi does not have the support Israel does. RSS would do it. I can assure you that much. RSS will do it. I can assure you that much. See, listen. I understand we hate on Modi quite a bit, but Modi is still not the problem. Modi is a symptom of the problem. Modi is what you get always if you have an RSS kind of ideology, because RSS itself has a Hindutva fascist ideology. They are the ones who spread it. BJP is just a reaction to that. It is a symptom. It is a rash that you get when you have like liver damage. He's not even a figurehead. He's a figurehead because right now, because he collated the power into being the prime minister. But within the great, like, look at the bigger picture. The ideology does not require a figurehead as such. Like, Modi is not revered as the great Hindutva protector. Modi is revered as like the BJP head. Think who is the great Hindutva protector within our land. And that's going to be something like Mohan Bhagwat, even Amit Shah, maybe, or like even Yogi comes to mind when you talk about this. Modi is like a cult like Baba. He, like all cults and all Babas, like, yeah, it's the same thing. But I am saying that Modi is just a symptom. Like, Modi is prevalent. Y'all are so knowledgeable. I feel so stupid. Everyone is stupid. Don't worry about it. Modi is still the head. I agree. That's why we focus on Modi. But the ideology doesn't die with Modi. Like, if Modi goes away tomorrow, the ideology still exists. And that is the problem. I mean, like, he works as the prime minister, but it really doesn't matter if he himself is good or not, because India is just run by oligarchs. Yes, that is true. Yes, that is exactly fucking true. And this is the same for America as well. Yes, Modi isn't the idea. He's the symptom. That's what I keep saying. Yeah, you're not stupid. Don't worry about it. That I know RSS 100-year-old project. Yes, RSS, even when they were banned, were doing this. Like, even when RSS was banned, they were doing entryism into the Congress. Bro, you aren't stupid, just chronically online. Yeah, everyone is. Do you think I should switch to Twitch? I was in YT because I thought there should be someone here. I mean, switch if you want. YouTube is literally for people watching it later. It's not for people watching it right now. Like, YouTube streaming is dead on arrival. Indians don't watch YouTube. Upper caste lost their political power. That was the reason why RSS keep Manusmriti alive. That was the reason why RSS... I don't understand. Upper caste lost their political power. That's why the reason RSS came to... I think upper caste is still in power. Which is the problem. The bombs, Lebanon... Lebanon Parliament Speaker calls Israel strike full-fledged war crime. It is. They don't. Am I minority in watch YT streams? Yes, you are a very small minority. Nabi Berry said that the strike targeted southern Lebanon suburbs in Beirut, large areas of the Bekaa Valley, Mount Lebanon, Sidon, several villages in the southern Lebanon, resulting in killing and injuries of hundreds of civilians in densely populated. They did not give a warning, by the way. That's what I keep saying. That's what I keep saying here. The thing that they're trying to do. Oof, I need a morning jolt for all this shit. Yeah, I know. I fucking know. I know, right? The reason why I keep saying this is like, the reason why they attack densely populated regions is because they want to unalive, let's say, multiple people. as many as they can, especially children, because they want to take over the land. That's what they're doing. They're doing a burn and resettle kind of colonial move project. They burn the land and they resettle it with their own people. RSS itself was banned for when Nathuram killed Gandhi. They were later reformed with heavy restrictions. They did not reform. But they found the loophole that political parties can just reject being part of RSS. Exactly. That is true. That is what I keep saying. RSS did a lot of entryism. Give me a second. Today's crime is a serious test for international community and a blatant challenge for all international laws, norms, and conventions which Israel violates through its continued targeting of civilians. Berry said he called on Lebanon's political, religious, civil leaders to unite in solidarity and the victims as the country continues to face what he describes as brutality of Israeli killing machine in its war on extermination against Lebanon. That is true. Like when democratic reform started, upper castes of Brahmins only saw their numbers are low. So how can they keep ruling India? Because eventually people will take over. Why RSS is there to keep Brahminism alive? Yes, that is true. And apartheid going on. Yes, that is true. Hindutva is nothing but Brahminism. That is true. Anyway, so what do you guys think about DMK? I literally think they are like a right-wing party, Tamil Nadu, but they're keeping away BJP. Like I have Pariyar Dravidism. Like Pariyar was a great person. Dravidium is great. I do not believe within the nationalist thing when it comes to Dravidianism. Tamil nationalism. Hey Platin, how are you doing? Like I think there is going to be some issues with there. Like same with RSS. Dravidian movement was mainly anti-caste. Yes, that is true. As long as it's anti-caste, anti-racism, I'm fine with it mostly, to be frank with you. But I do feel like the pushing for a Tamilian nationality, if I am not getting this wrong, when it comes to, I'm not talking about like, last time I checked with the Vijayan politics. I was still, they started doing the whole Tamil people discovered iron first. Yeah. That becomes a bit of an issue. The whole nationalist shit, even Tamil nationalism, I think is going to be end in a disaster. Like that's what I keep saying with respect to the LDF UDF conflict. Like anything that is not socialist is going to be a problem. Anything that is not socialist is going to be a problem. Even in Kerala, I'm sorry, Pookie, but like if Congress wins in Kerala, that is a sure shot way BJP enters. All the problem is now OBCs which are dominant in TN, VKC and main party which is there for Dalit liberation. Yeah, I've heard it from Arun. See, I am not very knowledgeable when it comes to Tamil Nadu politics. I am really not. Seriously, I think eventually at one point I'm going to go to like Arun's stream and learn it from directly. He's very knowledgeable with this. Because he's Tamil Nadu's, yes, no, I know that much. They are doing color racism over there. Not like VKC, but like the OBC majority parties. Are you a socialist or a communist? I'm a socialist. At this point, like, I don't really, it doesn't really matter, I would say. Like, socialist, communist, it doesn't really matter as long as it's anti-communist, anti-capitalist, sorry. Because India is going through such a huge motion, it doesn't fucking matter. So you don't know that Vijay became party leader? No, I know that. I'm a socialist who dreams of become a communist. I mean, sure. CPM is also good in TM, Tamil Nadu. Yes, it is good. See, I don't really like Vijay's politics. Vijay's politics, I do not believe are decent to the point that they can avoid a BJP entry within the state. That is the only argument I have within this perspective, because I really don't know much about Tamil Nadu politics. You ask me about Kerala, I know more about Kerala politics. CPIM is normally good everywhere. The problem within northern CPIM, like North CPIM, is that they keep getting people who are like murderers, who are like rapists, and putting them in places to get and hoping to win seats. That is the problem with like North CPIM. Like North CPIM is just bad. South CPIM is better. I'm just praying for cheap energy. When we hit energy abundance, it won't matter as much. They will try to shit on poor people, don't worry. Nuclear is the best. Nuclear was killed. Brew might double. Yuki isn't, or I have no idea what you're saying. See, like nuclear is the best. Nuclear was killed by the petroleum industry. Like the anti-nuclear power movement that was there was supported and paid for by the nuclear industry, like the petroleum industry. This is not a very well-known fact, but it is still a fact. The another issue is like in places like Australia, the major problem with energy is that they produce so much. They produced so much energy that now their issue is they have to give it for free. And how do they give it for free is the question that they are asking themselves, because it's not going to make them money. Hold on, let me pull up the Australia. No, sorry. It's not Australia. It's Astralay. It is in indomitable part of the Akhand Bharat. Indian nuclear energy was killed by Adani cause coal dhando. Exactly. Indian nuclear was killed by Adani. Right, nuclear, I remember, but didn't India have a breakthrough in thorium? It was killed by Adani. They still want to do cheap coal stuff. Like, hold on. Where is this? This is the problem that they're having. Like, oh, Jesus Christ. Am I fucking stupid? I am fucking stupid. I keep messing up this shit. There's so much solar that is offering everyone free electricity. No, you stupid? Okay, I am. What is the alternative to capitalist socialism and communism? Because they're not good. They are so much better. I mean, no, like in recent ones, an FBR in Tamil Nadu end critical. Oh, okay. We will see how that ends up being. What country was hit again? Iran break ceasefire? No, Iran did not break ceasefire. Israel did. Lebanon was hit by Israel. They export unrefined petroleum products. And they import refined ones. Again, who exactly are you talking about? Guys, I'm getting confused between your own chats because you're talking between yourself. I'm talking, like, are you talking about Australia? Australia, like, not everyone has the technology to refine oil. So if you have oil, you have to send it out. But Australia itself is next level stupid. Australia, in a bid to please America and UK, had like sold off their petroleum refining and extraction. They and they do not sell their oil products or natural gas. They have just given it away to the petroleum industry. Like, please understand, they do not own any of their own petroleum sources. Yeah, Yahoo's. I don't like people calling my streamer and fellow stupid. If you redeemed a timeout, you want to be timed out? Fine. Fine, I'll time you out. Jesus. Where is... Did it time him out himself? I don't think anyone called anyone stupid, but fine. See, okay, you're timed out for 10 minutes. Congratulations. I don't know. Laughing about how he misread it? Yeah. Scarborough, I think, misread that a lot. Where I can't even find this goddamn message anymore. I posted a video in the Discord for whatever we need a happy break. Okay, I'm gonna go check. Guys, this was supposed to be a quick live. We are an hour 30 in this. We are not normally on. And Hasra got... Hold on, where is this happy break music video? For we need a break. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, nice. Storkies.
They are one of the rarest species of storks in the world, and I think they are the most beautiful.
In the northeastern part of India, a greater adjunct stork has been considered an ill omen for generations, and then
In the world. They are so inspiring.
Yes, one of the things that Israel I had actually agreed to within the ceasefire, and US had agreed to, and Iran had agreed to, was the ceasing of any attacks on Lebanon as well. So they are obviously going to reconsider.
When I started my work, I always found people treated them as bad omen, disease carrier, and they were poisoned, they were persecuted, the trees were cut down. I'm very grateful to all the communities who are working together to save this bird. It is empowering thousands and thousands of women and also changing the society, because our women are the custodian of change. Nobody taught me that you should study.
Okay, seriously, the break is over. We have to go forward. I'm really trying to finish early, which is not happening because Israel keeps attacking. Like, seriously, Israel literally is kind of cutting up into my work time as well. Like, I'm like collateral damage here. It will be there whenever a break is needed, I know. So he's saying here, that's the Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. He is basically saying that Pakistan, the outlook on Pakistan has changed, that Pakistan is being looked at as someone who is respected and honored. I mean, good for Pakistan. Like, I have like nothing bad to say about Pakistan, like in this scenario anyway. They did try to broker the peace even though Israel keeps breaking it. God fucking damn it.
एक आम आदमी की है, एक हारी की है, एक किसान की है, एक मजदूर की है, एक तांगाबान की है, एक दुकानदार की है, एक सियासतदान की है, एक अफसर की है, एक यतीम की है, एक बेवा की है. ये पूरी कौम की इज्जत है. कुरान करीम में आता.
This he's just basically saying that the respect is for everyone from the lowest to the highest. I am not going to say anything bad for him right now. I have said enough before. Anyway. Any more updates on this shit that is happening? What is patently illegal? This is Israeli political. Ori Goldberg has described the unprecedented attack on Lebanon as a pyrotechnic show meant to demonstrate Israel's effective while ultimately demonstrating its despair. Okay. I did not think they had spoilers within the Israeli political commentary space. Which is good to see, to be very frank with you. The only entity that can stop it is international community that will defend Lebanon's sovereign rights, which have been violated for decades but are now almost non-existent. Yes, I mean, Lebanon has been attacked by literally everyone, which is a problem. Like, Israel started attacking Lebanon as it was attacking Iran. As it was invading Iran. They literally pushed like, no, America, you go, you deal with Iran, you attack them, you take them out. We will attack Lebanon by the time. Like, it is absolutely horrendous on what is actually happening. It is absolutely fucking horrendous. Wounded people are still arriving at Lebanon, health minister says. Also, by the way, there are people in Israel that are against Bibi. There is a lot of them who don't ant him as leader. Yeah, but it's like I have nothing good to say about any of them because they still live on stolen land. Like, it's like you actively live on a land that is not yours. You are the reason why the Palestinians were thrown out of that region. Yeah, you may not consider Bibi, but do you consider ending the two-state? That is the question, because the two-state agreement is what Israel keeps using to kill Palestinians. Like, I am an anti-Zionist through and through. I'm not going to be nice about Zionists because, like, they are saying against Bibi. It's like the argument where Gavin Newsom or Sanders keep saying, no, Israel is good, we need to attack Bibi Netanyahu. But that is not fucking true. That and all the weapons from the US, exactly. Like, weapons from US need to stop. I am just glad Cortez started, like, saying proper shit for the first time, like not differentiating between defensive and offensive weapons. I am just glad that Cortez started being a decent person again. She has more favorability in becoming the next prime minister. The next president than Gavin Newsom for the Democratic Party. So I'm glad she's saying the right shit. Even though I do believe the Democratic Party is good. The Democratic Party is going to keep pushing for Gavin Newsom because he's an Israeli shell. Like, if Gavin Newsom runs against Tucker Carlson is going to fucking win. Gavin Newsom is an idiot. Oh, that news was fake. Oh, okay. Oh, Jesus. BBC News Urdu is making fun of Modi again. Let's just read. It is fun to read multiple variations of the same shit. English. Thank you. Can I avoid this? Everything. India's silence on Pakistan mediation. Modi wanted to isolate Pakistan but ended up isolated himself. That is true. I mean, the stolen land argument can be used against everyone. America is stolen land. Russia is stolen land. Russia is not stolen land. Not in my... Like, I don't think so. India is stolen land. That is true. And a lot of princely coercion. Yes, sure. I agree. Russia took over Serbia. Okay. No, but like... Even in this scenario, like, sure, free Russia, Serbia, I don't care. The point is, even in this scenario, like the stolen land argument is literally them going to people's houses and kicking them out and killing them and raping them. That is the stolen land argument right now. India welcomed a 2-week ceasefire argument against US-Israel war against Iran, but has refrained from naming Pakistan or mentioning its efforts. While leaders around the world are praising Pakistan mediation efforts, India and External Ministry Affairs has not only ignored it, in its official letter, but has also remained silent on possible talks between Iran and United States in Islamabad. Yeah, I mean, like that. Exactly. Also, I am not in favor of Americans taking over native land as well. Like, natives... like, in the recorded history, I would argue native genocide was like the first majority genocide, but there was also like a lot of others within like African nations. So I'm not really the best person to ask about. Yeah, but I'm just digging my own grave here. Not because like I'm starting a discussion that I am canceling myself. Ignore me. Sorry, ADHD. Today is not a day for doing this. A statement issued by Indian Minister of External said, we welcome the decision, but has not mentioned. We hope that it is help in establishing lasting peace in West Asia as we have been saying before, a ceasefire, dialogue, diplomacy are indispensable in the end of current war. The difference is they have also been making fun of Pakistan for doing this exactly. Oh, Jesus Christ. Fucking idiotic. This is what I mean. Like this. So, like as usual, Karan Thapar has an interview that came out like very urgently, which I really appreciate. We are not going to watch the whole thing. We are going to watch it from here.
Are involved in those 10 points. So these are all again, they understand the implications. You must remember.
Agreement. Here there are just 2 weeks. And yet Trump, in his Truth Social post, has claimed that all the points of contention have been agreed to. But is that really credible?
I think if he agrees to all these points of contention, then even 2 weeks may be too long, and it may happen quicker. However, we have to see whether actually when the negotiations start, they understand the implications. You must remember that previously the Iranians expressed a lack of confidence in negotiators like Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff on the nuclear issue. These are very complicated issues. We don't even know about whether the enrichment point, that's again not very clear from.
Right, when mediation isn't going to do anything, Bibi is hellbent on destroying Iran. Yes, yes, that is true. That's why mediation also becomes important, to get America to stop supporting Israel's genocidal rhetoric. Like, I'm being very serious here when I say this. It is extremely important to do that.
What's coming out, is that included in the 10 points or not? Maybe you have some a better piece of paper that I couldn't find.
It's not in the version I've seen of the 10 points.
Evidently, it was there earlier in the Farsi version and not there in the Angrezi version. So I'm not sure where that is going and what will happen to that, because they have asked for, the Board of Governors are involved in those 10 points. So these are all again, these will have to be negotiated. 2 weeks may not be enough. And in 2 weeks, we may have the conflict raging again. There are enough Marines in the region. There is the US Navy still there. We don't know where it is going. So I think at the moment, we'll just have to take it day by day.
Now, both Trump and Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi gave fulsome credit to Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Field Marshal Asim Munir for brokering this agreement. Would you accept this ceasefire and the fact that the talks will be held in Islamabad is a significant feather in Pakistan's cap?
Well, it's quite clear that Pakistan.
Yeah, but Trump isn't going to stop either. It's Trump until he loses the Senate election and Senate votes against helping Israel. Trump has shown the ability to stop something like this. Before. Like, he depends on the bond market. So as long as Iran has control over the strait, they are not going to do much. Like, that is the idea. The problem is Israel keeps breaking ceasefires left, right, and center.
Pakistan has played a role as perhaps not as a mediator yet, but certainly as a conduit, and has managed to get the two sides to agree to talks, or has been proposed, has been seen as the country which has helped to bring them to the table. To that extent, yes.
Like, Israel is breaking the ceasefire as we speak. Pakistan's
diplomatic profile would have risen with this development. We will
Aren't
have
you
to
being
see.
a little measly in the credit you're giving Pakistan?
No. It's not a question of me being measly. It's a fact that Pakistan has done well and has raised its diplomatic profile. It is also very interested in ending this conflict for Pakistan's own reasons. Their petrol and diesel prices have been rising very.
Also, a lot of people in American Senate are hellbent on helping Israel, saying it's a duty. They are paid by the APAC. Like 93 out of 100 are paid by APAC.
Quickly, they are facing huge economic difficulties, and they have been playing an increasing role in the Middle East or West Asia, in collaboration with Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey. So this is part of that piece. I'm nobody to be measly or generous or otherwise. I'm just giving you the facts. I agree with you that their diplomatic profile has risen.
Pakistan consulted China. Their Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar visited China immediately after the four country level talks were held in Islamabad a few days ago. Do you believe Beijing played an important role in getting Iran to accept Trump? In the interview he's given the French agency Agence France Presse, believes that China did play a credible role.
Okay, sorry. I thought it was
Yes,
a
these
message.
are, I mean, one can only rely on news reports or see these. There are reports that say that China was instrumental in helping bring Iran to the negotiating table. We must also remember that the previous five-point plan was a joint sort of plan drafted by Pakistan and China. So I think China has been very much a factor.
Not just the ones paid by APAC, but also the ones of the, I don't remember where it goes, like a senator sees a flood in his state, or for instance, Israel needs ammo or something like that. That literally has happened before. That happened with Texas.
In making this happen. What exactly their role was, I can't say.
Now, Foreign Minister Jai Shankar dismissed Pakistan's role as Dalali. Today, that comment seems both inept and inapt. Would you agree?
No, I don't want to start parsing individual statements, Karan, but I think what is important for us is to realize and factor in what Pakistan has done. We will have to factor in that into several relationships, into the relationship of Pakistan and the United States, for which we've been seeing these signposts in the last few months.
I think it's South Carolina. Maybe.
This developing relationship with Asim Munir and President Trump. And this will be a factor, if it succeeds, which we should know will strengthen that relationship more. Secondly, we have to factor it into our relationship post-conflict with.
Okay. It was South Carolina. You're perfectly correct. And it was Lindsey fucking Graham. Like, that man just needs, like, come on. Lindsey Graham just needs to come out as gay. Just come out, like, at the end of the day and just be happy. Yeah, he's. I don't think even he counts in this conversation. He has been so pro-Israel since the start. He will literally sell off his own kidneys to fund ammo for Israel.
Iran, having seen the Pakistan-Iran relationship, into our relationship with Israel, into our relationship
like my point with him is like
entire.
He is disgusting. He has a lot. He's in the closet for this long. He has like the homophobic, self-hating, homophobic angst inside him. Just come out as fucking queer. It helps. When I came out as queer, my whole angst was gone. It really helps.
Gulf and particularly Saudi Arabia, we will have to go back and examine our relationship with Turkey. And we can't just say that, that's like, a dead
he's
relationship.
The only politician
I
would look at and be like, if he had come out like 30 years ago, he would have never been this Israel loving or a Nazi. And he would actually do something for his people. Like, I understand, like, this sounds very bad in this scenario, but I think he's just really such a self-hating gay man that he always wants to, like, channel that frustration into first attacking Iraq and then now attacking Iran and helping Israel.
Camp, we will have to engage. We will have to reapproach these relationships, knowing that if we are not there, what can happen.
Today, how do you read Trump's rhetoric on Monday and Tuesday? On Monday, if you recall, he said he could take out Iran in one night, and that night could be Tuesday. The next day, on Tuesday, he posted that a whole civilization will die tonight. Were these potential war crimes, as many people on television channels interpret them as, Or was it part of a strategy to coerce Iran, which perhaps paid off?
I think these were the storm before the concession that Trump wanted the media to run, to show how determined he is, how strong he is, how unforgiving he is on Iran. These are
Sorry.
potential.
Isn't there a game that is being used to fund Myanmar civil war? Israelis on Twitch are celebrating ceasefire playing PUBG. Hubris. Yeah. The ceasefire is... It's all like Israel already broke it. Isn't there a game that is being used to fund Myanmar civil war? I have no idea what you're talking about. He looks like he could be so cute, like a small puffy merchant. Then he starts talking and he's clearly evil. Yeah, I know, he's disappointing.
War crimes. These are similar to some war crimes and some statements which have already been committed. And it is shocking to hear this kind of language being used by the leader of the strongest country in the world. I mean, nobody has a right to say that they will bomb a civilization back to the Stone Age, or they will finish a civilization which ultimately, the riches of that civilization belong ultimately to entire humanity. So I think Iran would not have been pressurized by them, by those statements. Yes, the fact that if powerhouses and bridges were going to be bombed hugely over the night, it would debilitate them further. But I don't think this bombing an entire civilization, was something more than a bombastic.
Not sure, bro, but PUBG is a POG game for trolling. I might actually start playing PUBG, not gonna lie.
Exaggerated trick.
In fact, if
PUBG is the only third-person shooter I can play. PUBG is banned in India, yes. They have like PubM or something.
Navteet Sarna, you could argue that these comments, particularly the one about bombing a civilization and ending it in one night, worked against Trump because members of the MAGA Republican Party who support Trump, like Tucker Carlson, called this insane. They were furious with Trump.
Absolutely. See, there is a divide which has been coming into MAGA, Marjorie Green Taylor and Tucker Carlson and others. And there's also...
Since Iran has agreed to open the strait, shouldn't they open it for India? I mean, it is a very conditional open. Like if you're trading in Chinese yuan, and paying the toll, that is the only way that they are opening. Like Pakistan literally saved India from a LPG crisis, not gonna lie. It opens for India as well, so don't worry about it. Fauji Lemo. Oh, that's the game, okay.
Move. There were 25 Democrats yesterday who called for bringing in the 25th Amendment and removing Trump because he's unfit for presidential office. Now, this has not happened.
It's conditionally open. It's like initially, if anyone could have used the strait without anything. There is nothing over whatever is happening. The issue is that now everyone has to pay a toll. So Iran literally just won. Like literally won. It went from a completely free strait to a strait controlled by Iran. India should have replaced LPG for biogas far better than LPG. How are you going to make so much biogas? Plus, LPG is going through Adani Ambani. They would never replace it. By the way, it should have just replaced it with electricity, not gonna lie. By the way, Iran collecting $1 in crypto per barrel. No. It's 2 million per ship. $2 million in one ship per ship. Crypto is not used by anyone
in all this, but these comments triggered off even that move.
Yeah, it is very cheap. It is very cheap.
So I don't think it serves anybody's purpose to go to such extents and to use the kind of language that he has been using on tweets for world leaders. I don't think that helps negotiations. It only means that you're setting yourself higher and higher for failure.
We're coming to the end of this interview, but let me raise one other issue with you. Trump says this could be the beginning of a golden age for the Middle East. Is that blatant exaggeration?
It is a golden age for the Middle East if Iran wins, not gonna lie.
Or could there be some truth in it if things fall into place the right way?
Well, I don't know how he sees that unless he's thinking in terms of, gold panel hotel lobbies or something like that. But the golden, we are very far from the golden age of the Middle East, as they call it. I think before October 7, 23, the Middle East was set on a different trajectory. After what has happened, not only on October 7, but largely in Gaza, what has happened in the two conflicts with Iran, what is happening in southern Lebanon.
Indian household make 300 kgs of wet waste per year on average. We can make. Biogas requires you to have a nitrogen source. Even if wet waste, like only wet waste is not important. The nitrogen source normally comes from wood chips. India does not have enough wood chips. Making biogas is not that easy. Do you think Modi knew about Iran being attacked and it resulted in closing the strait? He knew that. I can assure you that he knew when he went to Israel that they are going to attack Iran. I don't know what the 3 stars are. That much I know, that he knew Iran is going to be attacked. He thought that Iran is going to be attacked, but it will just go away quickly. It's not going to turn into so much of a conflict. He put a lot of his chips in the bag with Israel and US. That is what I think. Like, it is stupid to even think that Modi did not know. The Indian RAW and intelligence agencies are not that stupid.
The attacks on the Gulf countries which Iran has launched, I think it's going to be a very different Middle East the day after. And the day after depends upon when today ends. So I can't tell you when. But on the day after, you're going to that entire thing of Dubai and Saudi and other areas becoming this new haven of technological development, innovation, investments, safe living. I think all that has been put back.
Actually, a dude in Mumbai makes a biogas plant at home to produce enough biogas for his home, needs leftovers to sell to others as well. Yes, I am trying to tell you the same. You can make biogas, but you need a nitrogen source. The nitrogen source is the problem. India has basically no LPG reserves, so assuming he knew about this, he still never thought of making more LPG reserves. No, he did not. See, Modi works for Adani and Ambani. And Adani and Ambani are controlled by their capitalist interests. Nitrogen fixing bacteria exists. Yes, they exist in soil. There is nitrogen fixing bacteria exist and are controlled within a very limited, they can be grown in a very niche form. You can't grow it in a biogas reactor with everyone's waste piling inside it. You have to think about how much and by how much you're producing and what quality it is coming out with. Does it have the nitrogen or it just like methane? You have to think of all of this. A bioreactor is extremely complicated because that's what you have to build it in. My guy, I am an engineer, as all Indians are, and I did my engineering in biotech engineering. We had this. I'm telling you this right now. Nitrogen fixing bacteria, yes, exists. It is but the bioreactor for it are very lacking because they normally mostly grow on live shit. That's why they say you have to plant peanuts in soil because they have nitrogen fixing bacteria on their roots, because the nitrogen fixing bacteria can grow there and rejuvenate the soil. That's why the Three Sisters also works. Yeah, exactly, legumes. The Three Sisters, why they work is because of this. But you can't always grow nitrogen fixing bacteria in a bioreactor. And turnips, yes. That is the problem with biogas. For a biogas, if you want to make biogas at home, you need like let's say 1 kg of wet waste, and that is wet waste that is not coming from like bones, that is coming from like actual wet waste, and very specific, like a very narrow region of that wet waste. On top of it, you need at least twice or like 1 to 2 times the amount of chips, like sawdust. You mix it together with bacteria, and that causes you to have biogas. And that is not that much either. You have to spend a lot more. Biogas itself is a good idea, but scaling it up is very hard. India focusing on biogas is never going to work. India needed to focus on renewable sources of energy. Sunlight, for example. We get a lot of sunlight per year. Use it, store it. Wind. India has a lot of wind. We don't use it. India killed nuclear for Adani Ambani, for coal. That is the problem. India literally, the same year it signed the peace agreement, which mandated it to build more renewable sources of energy. It literally made a coal plant. For the thorium FBR that went critical in Tamil Nadu. Yeah. Thorium also works, but it is still new. We have technology that is available right now. The issue is they are not doing shit.
By several years, if not decades.
My last question. Whilst Trump is talking of a golden age, how pleased will Israel be with this agreement? The statement from Israel issued by Netanyahu's office is a lot less triumphal than the statement from Trump or the statement from Arakchi. And clearly, Israel's objectives in Iran remain unfulfilled. And I can't see how Netanyahu's right-wing coalition partners will be pleased with this arrangement at all.
Any updates?
No, they certainly would not be pleased, and Trump will have to drag them into agreement. I think Israel would like to not like a situation in which Trump says that in which Iran says that now we control Hormuz, or in any way that Iran's missile capacity, the 440 kilos of uranium, or Iran.
I think this was done by IG Car. It actually worked and produced U-233. No, I agree. That it worked. I'm not saying it didn't work. I am saying building a plant ground up with new tech is going to be harder. I am saying that the government killed already existing tech. I am not saying it's not going to work. I am saying it is going to work. I want it to work. I am full support, sir. Oh, they've already built it? The issue... No. Again, scaling up is the problem. Scaling up is always the problem. I think they have a new supercritical steam... they are also using in a mini plant, China is using supercritical CO2. The issue is not that you can't use it. The issue is scaling up. We are not talking about powering a society. We are talking about powering a city and more. Right now, for scale up, we have steam powered power plants run by nuclear, which were killed by Adani and Ambani. That is a thing that needs to be also be highlighted. Because listen, it's not always about technology. It is also about capitalist interest within this. If thorium is there and I'm going to be clear, I'm in support of building more thorium power plants. If they are as safe and it's working and it's scalable, build it, no doubt. I don't care. I wanted nuclear. Nuclear is still worse than thorium. What I am saying is here that the fight doesn't stop at them developing the tech. They have killed nuclear before for petroleum. They are going to try their best to kill thorium. That is also a thing that you need to understand. The reason why I keep saying we need more nuclear as well, not just like uranium nuclear, not just thorium nuclear, is because something that has been proven already is going to be easier to argue for. like in opposition to capitalist interests of petroleum. That is all. Build thorium power plants as huge as possible. Doesn't matter. I fucking love it. But do understand, any big, large plant has to pass the 10-year safety check before it is moved forward to large-scale production. We already have nuclear. You see, it has to be stable for 10 years at least.
Exists as a viable country in as much as it does. I don't think that is, would be fulfilling Israel's objectives. At the same time, they are also in the process, if you see, of taking all of southern Lebanon.
No, I'm sure it is amazing. I'm sure it is amazing. I am sure that this needs to go forward, that this is the tech of the future. But it needs to pass through certain checks of safety. One, scale up, because I'm guessing because it's a mini plant, it's a pilot. And on top of which, it needs to fight against petroleum interests. People don't understand how strong these things are. The whole recycled triangle, the whole switching from calling it global warming to calling it climate change. All of this was petroleum. Petroleum funded and killed funded anti-nuclear movement and killed nuclear in like the Western world. That and the repercussions is something that we are seeing today. They are killing solar. They are killing wind. A new tech is good and all, but we still need to fight for the old one as well. Like, we are fighting capitalism here. This is capitalism in effect when they kill anything that is good for us. It doesn't matter to them if you have a system to store hydrogen. Right, same as how the dude who made 170 km per liter engine was suppressed. I'm not sure about him, but yeah, sure. Whatever sales the boat. Whatever makes you understand the point. I'm not sure if that like, I've heard about this. I've really heard about this. I've heard about this, that he did it in it's called some engine. I've really heard about this. I forgot, but whatever. I think it was a 6-stroke engine with tangential spark. Yeah, maybe. Sorry, I don't remember this right now. I've heard about this. But I can tell you, I've heard about this. I don't remember this.
And this would have to come to a
The point still is that we are fighting capitalist interests.
As I started off this interview with, whether that continues, then this negotiation won't go very far. At the moment, and there are, moves in the West Bank which might get interrupted in this process. And the focus may go back to Gaza. So we don't know. But Israel, broadly speaking, has also been suffering. It's not that there have been protests against the war inside Israel. More and more Iranian missiles have breached Israeli defenses. Israelis are rushing several times a day into bomb shelters.
Do you see, oh my God, Ye Mera India? I think they also show some dude who made an engine which runs on water. What? I'm not believing that shit on TV, dude. Seriously, don't believe shit on TV. If I get to know something that is through scientific inquiry, I'll let you know. Water and calcium carbonate. So they're making bubbles and making like potential energy from the rising bubbles or the exothermic reaction to create electricity. The reaction, as far as I know, is very weak. That's as far as I know.
So somewhere Netanyahu will have to calculate that also. He cannot be completely, ignorant or pretend ignorance of the pressure that Israel is in. And ultimately,
Hold on, there's a news on the side.
We have to see when the dust settles
There's a
what
small
the
news on the side.
Israel-US relationship is going to look like. Is it going to
What the
remain
hell
as it was, this strong and absolutely unbreakable relationship? Because there are voices in the United States, including by Democrat Ro Khanna, who have said that we have to think through this. We have to see why we are supplying military supplies to Israel. So all that is going to be up for question once the dust settles.
So at best, we have a pause this morning. Who knows whether
what do you think about hydrogen fuel is viable? The technology has been developed since 1920s. The issue with hydrogen fuel is storage of hydrogen. It is not the engine not working. The engine works.
this will lead to a more lasting solution?
Hydrogen itself is very iffy about storage. It cannot be transported as easily because, first of all, it needs to be highly pressurized if you ever want to liquefy it, if you can ever liquefy it. It needs more energy intake for liquefaction and production than it takes for anything. And if you can't liquefy it, you can't transport it. If you can't transport it, which means you can't have it on a car or whatever, or a train even. I think they made a train that runs. Yes, they see hydrogen engines work. It is a known tech. Hydrogen engines were developed before petroleum engines. Hydrogen engines were developed before petroleum engines. The issue with a hydrogen engine is not the fact that the engine doesn't work. The issue is the storage of hydrogen, the transport of hydrogen, the acquiring of hydrogen. Also, hydrogen engines are well and all. Like, why do you need an engine when you can just have nuclear power running that shit? At the end of the day, you are looking to produce electricity. The potential. If you're looking to produce that, just charge a fucking battery that is coming from nuclear or coming from solar or wind. You don't need like on-spot production of electricity. You don't even have to have a battery. Just like for trains especially, which I'm a big favor of, just have trains running on electricity. That's it. Coming from nuclear. You have enough electricity throughout.
It could, but the obstacles that have to be overcome are fairly sizable, if not enormous. I thank you, Navdeep Sarna, for the time you've given me and for sharing with us your analysis.
Because people are still afraid of nuclear, they would accept it if it was far from the city, but it's close to them, they get iffy. No, nuclear is not close to the city per se. Maybe in India. It is still far away. The problem with nuclear right now is that there's a lot of petroleum companies that fund a lot of these anti-nuclear protests. It is not just people are afraid. They're made to feel afraid. I need to check something quickly. Where's this guy? Give me a second. So there is like a lot of shit going on the side.
I mean, I can imagine that President Trump.
Hold on, what the fuck? Rajdeep. Where's this Rajdeep segment?
Root of the strand on the pyramid of his by it will pay after he Derek.
Moving on, we covered this yesterday, by the way.
Could bomb Iran into exceeded all our military objectives. Do you not accept that the United States and Israel, by pounding Iran in the way that they did, have at least partly met their military objectives by seriously undermining Iran's infrastructure?
Well, let's be clear that Trump flip-flopped around with a range of objectives when this war began, ranging from unconditional surrender to regime change, to the writing down of ballistic missiles and the elimination of the nuclear threat. None of that has happened. Yes, the Americans and Israelis have launched an industrial-scale aerial assault on Iran. Yes, Iranian military capabilities have been dramatically written down, although it is clear that Iran still retains a capability with ballistic missiles and has thousands of cheap Shahed drones capable of launching at not only Gulf states, but also shipping in the Gulf. But the fact is that so long as Iran continues to hold the Strait of Hormuz, Trump and America is losing. That is the reality, the strategic reality.
Shit, I
And
am
that
muted
represents
again. I am so sorry. So I don't think I think they're just doing this out of habit where they keep breaking ceasefires and they do not care what the US has to think about this, even though US is the one funding it. What I am thinking right now is that irrespective of what happens, they still think that breaking a ceasefire with Iran is the same as breaking a ceasefire with Gaza, where people are not going to retaliate.
the largest, the greatest strategic disaster America has seen since Vietnam.
Now, you're making a very big, you're claiming this is the greatest strategic disaster that the United States has faced since Vietnam, and you're referring to the Strait of Hormuz. But the fact is, the Strait of Hormuz was open even before the war began, of course. You're now suggesting that by weaponizing the Strait of Hormuz, Iran has a deadly weapon in its hand that it can use as and when, and virtually hold the global economy to hostage. Is that what you suggest is the strategic mistake, that the United States didn't recognize the key role that the Strait of Hormuz, this waterway, would play?
Precisely. You put it absolutely accurately. That before the February the 27th, the Strait of Hormuz was free to global navigation. Now it is under Iranian control. And one of the 10 points in that 10-point plan, which Trump has accepted as the basis for discussion and negotiation, says that Iran will retain sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz, and we can expect to see swinging tolls put on shipping going through those straits, which will make life very difficult for the Gulf states and indeed for shipping generally. So, and as you say, Iran absolutely realizes that it now has a weapon with which it can hold the global economy to ransom.
But that's, you keep referring, General, to the 10-point plan that Iran has put forward as the basis for negotiation. The Americans haven't abandoned, we are told, their 15-point plan, one of which is that Iran will have to give up its nuclear enrichment facilities. So it isn't, are you saying that this is entirely a win-win for Iran and a lose-lose for America
sure it
and
is.
Israel? Because once the negotiations start...
I understood. I already replied. Bro, you're wasting... Okay, whatever.
It's only then that we will know actually what's on the table from both sides.
Well, I think we can see what's on the table. Iran's 10-point plan, which Trump has accepted as the basis for negotiation. And as you say, one of those points in that 10-point plan is that Iran retains the right to develop nuclear capabilities as any other nation does. We will see what happens in the next 10 days. But I come back to my point that while Iran holds the Strait of Hormuz, Iran has Trump over a barrel.
But would you therefore say, as we look back, that this has been a war that could have been eminently avoided, that this was a war that was illegal under international law, that while negotiations were on in Geneva, you go and bomb Iran, you take out, assassinate their...
Jesus Christ, Macron is fucking idiotic. Like, come on. The fuck is he talking about?
À date est aussi inclus dans le cessez-le-feu, ce qui est une bonne chose et même une chose.
He says Hezbollah made strategic mistake by attacking Israel.
Cessé ces dernières heures.
Like, come on. Israel strikes and occupation of Southern Lebanon cannot be long-term solution. Fine. Anyway, do you remember how Trump handed over a reconstruction of Palestine to his own construction agency or something? Yes, I do remember that. I do know that. That is the point that they're trying to make. They're trying to make like reconstruction of Gaza into like a Palestinian free zone where they can sell everything to their shareholders. Ceasefire must fully include Lebanon. This is indispensable. You must strengthen your support for the Lebanese army so they can... Yes. Maybe the golden statue of Gaza, of Trump in Gaza, isn't a meme. It is I think for Trump, it's a strategic goal.
Ce à quoi nous avons est aussi
Is this
inclus dans le.
okay? I'm getting confused. He's still blaming Macron. Macron is still blaming Hezbollah over this.
Les frappes ont cessé ces dernières heures. La situation est critique. Le Hezbollah a fait la faute stratégique en attaquant Israël et en entraînant le Liban dans la crise régionale. Mais ce à quoi nous assistons aujourd'hui.
Jesus Christ, is he fucking stupid? I think he is. He's fucking stupid. He thinks Hezbollah is the problem. By the way, for people who do not know, Hezbollah was created as an opposition to the Israeli occupation of Lebanon in the 1980s, 1990s. It is a reaction to Israeli occupation.
Leaders, is that what makes you believe that this war was a strategic mistake in the first place? Because there will be those who will say that...
Have you seen French protests? Maybe they have a point that Macron is bad. What are you talking about? Macron is horrible. Like, seriously, Macron is fucking horrible.
Iran constitutes a danger to regional stability in West Asia and particularly to the existence of Israel.
And your last statement is absolutely true. Iran has demonstrated that it is a regional threat. It has been a source of terrorism. It has absolutely been an existential threat to Israel, and it has exported instability and terrorism globally. But the truth is also that this war has been a masterclass in futility. It has achieved absolutely nothing of what Trump wanted to do, except destroy large amounts of the Iranian military. But those, in a sense, are tactical successes. Strategically, it has been a disaster for America.
So what was, according to you, what was the error? Where did the Americans go wrong? Did they go wrong right from day one?
Honestly, thought the protests in France are crazy. Have you heard few of their slogans? I don't know which slogans are you talking about.
In not having a clear strategy and an end game, did they go along, in your view, with what Benjamin Netanyahu wanted? What went wrong when you come on the show tonight and say this is America's worst strategic disaster since Vietnam?
They went wrong because there was no clear strategy. There was no clear idea of how the war would end. And they failed to, the American leadership, Trump particularly and Hegseth, failed to recognize the importance of the Strait of Hormuz. And let's be clear, the American military have been wargaming the implications of an attack on Iran for 20 years or so. And they have absolutely wargamed to death the implications for the Strait of Hormuz. And they would have known very, very clearly what Iran was likely to do. But that was ignored by Trump in a state of hubris, the assumption that the all-powerful American military could bomb Iran into
yeah, absolutely. That is perfectly based. Definitely agree with them.
mission.
That is called a reference to history. Like, this is fine. This is the similar lines of like eat the rich. If they are not actually going to behead Macron, they are not actually going to do that. They are going to basically kill his political ambitions, not him. That's the difference. It's a political slogan. It's fine.
Bombing as a campaign has been proven again and again in history not to work. And yet again, it has not worked.
So how do you see this now play out? Negotiations reportedly will start on Friday. Do you believe this fragile ceasefire will hold? Do you believe Trump's hubris will return to haunt him? That if there are commentators like yourself who say that this is the worst US disaster since Vietnam, that it will prick his ego somewhere and he will then look at ways in which he can once again resume hostilities? Do you see that happening, or do you believe this ceasefire will...
Yeah, that was certain they wouldn't actually do it, but the protests are still crazy. I heard the army being deployed in to maintain order. Yeah, that is the overreaction of the Macron, by the way. That is overreaction of Macron. Like, obviously they are going to do it. I can go into like French architecture and how it was developed to avoid a protest like what happened with Bastille and Louis and everything. At least 60,000 troops have been deployed to the countryside. Yes, no, I agree. We can talk about it in detail later because it is absolutely crazy that they did that. Because the protesters are correct in their protest. That's all I can tell you. Like Macron is oppressive. Like Macron's government itself is a self-sustained government. It didn't win through elections.
Will hold.
We can assume no rational thinking from President Trump. I think he's deranged. I think the tweet, the post last night about genocide, the post he put out on Easter Sunday about Iran, and also demonstrates a degree of derangement, confusion, irrationality, which is a global danger, frankly. So I don't know where these negotiations will go. I think the chances of them succeeding are very remote, but I come back to
Yeah, Napoleon III rebuilt Paris in such a way that the army can pass through. Exactly.
to my point that while Iran holds the Strait of Hormuz, America is held hostage, and the global community, the global economic community, is also held to hostage.
It's very important that you're calling what Donald Trump said about eliminating a civilization as genocidal. You're also saying there are very remote...
By the way, while you're at it, do check us out on YouTube as well. Like, YouTube is kind of suffering because I keep focusing on Twitch. Also, if you also for people in the future who are maybe watching this, if you are here watching, please do follow, like, and subscribe. Do not forget to do that. If you have Amazon Prime and you do not live in India, you can just support us through subscribing through your Amazon account. Use Bezos money. That is quite amazing to do it because you don't get charged anything extra, and you can support this channel and support me into getting a new chair and more treats for Sarin. Yes, sir. He's right here, by the way.
chances of these negotiations succeeding. Are you therefore suggesting that a couple of weeks from now you fear the worst and the hostilities could resume and Iran could once again have its chokehold over the Strait of Hormuz and put the world again on the edge? Is that the fear?
I think
Sarin. Like, he's the mascot. You have seen his picture before? Hold on. Sarin is my doggy. Sergio. Oh, Hodge. Hodge. No. No, from this side. From this side. Hodge side. Up. Up. See? Right here. Yay, he's baby. He's just sitting next to me. I have to, one of the reasons, like, I'm just waiting for this thing to get over so I can go walk him.
it is absolutely possible. I think the only thing that might change that dynamic, and firstly, let's assume, given the
He's very handsome,
very low grade quality of negotiation.
Like, he has this crest, and it is a crest where he consistently looks like he's wearing a, like a, what's the word, like a 3-piece suit. Like, he has a white shit coming here, he has like a jacket black here, and it consistently looks like he's wearing a suit.
It's like
let me bring up a picture.
Koff, and others the Americans produce, that the Iranians will run rings around them.
Not trying to exaggerate, but I would die for Sarin. I think everyone would. Hold on, Sarin. You want to come up and show your crest? Up. Yeah. Like, I don't know if you can see this, but like, look at this. This collar here is black. It's like he's wearing this conductor suit always. He's very cute. He's very floofy, and he has amazing hair. And he's a fucking ass. Like, he'll come up to me when, like, he knows now not to bother me while I'm streaming. Because I don't give him like much attention. So he just sits next to me. The most beautiful best boy. Yes, he is. He's a cute little boy. Oh. But when I'm watching TV or playing on like PS or something, he'll come up to me and try to push his nose next to whatever I'm holding. Like if I'm holding like my phone, he'll try to push this phone away with his nose. Can we do channel points redeem to give Sarin a treat? I think if you do subscribe, I think I can buy him a treat. But the thing is, he can't really have that many treats because he has a really bad stomach. So if I give him too much, he has diarrhea. He also can't eat chicken. He can't have like chicken fats. He has to have like this pupper has like salmon and lamb every meal. He's a very expensive bitch. And I love him so much. I know. He really can't have like chicken solids. So treats are really out of the question. Wait, do you play Soulsborne games? I have started playing this eventually. Like I did start, I didn't continue because I found them a bit boring. Not gonna lie. Like I like the whole mechanic where you keep dying and in Souls games and like you have to come back. But then it is like, yeah, true. But like I want more story. Like it doesn't grab my attention. But if you want, I can play it on stream someday. Like if you want, I can play it on stream. But I think I had like a new rule here because people were telling me to play multiple different games. Hold on. What was the rule? Let me just check what the new rule was. I forgot. I have to follow my own rules at least. Where is this? I hate Souls games, to be honest. No, Souls games are fun. Like, Souls games are fun. The issue is, see, I'm going to try and buy Bloodborne. Sorry, no. Elden Ring. I'm going to try and buy Elden Ring. Yeah, 50 subs. No. It's not 50 subs for a game. It's just 50 subs for Doki Doki. Hold on. I want to buy Elden Ring. I'm trying to check if I have the money for Elden Ring. Sub count to reach some number. Hold on, how much is Elden Ring? Bro, you know there is literally professors on the lore of Soulsborne. Yes, I know. Even if you play it, read all description, you might understand it. Yeah, I know. I have the same with One Piece. I have read all the lore in Souls games, by the way. I'm a Souls junkie when it comes to at least background. So if I like, okay, the payment shit for Twitch is like pathetically pathetic. Like they don't send me money even if it's there. I am looking into playing this, but I need to buy it. So I'm waiting for the payment from the like Twitch or something. So what we can do is here, hold on. Isn't on Plus catalog? No, it's not. No, I can't pirate it. Come on. Like I can't pirate it. Jesus, why is this happening right now? Hold on. The reason is because I'm going to play on PS. How am I supposed to pirate something on PS? The issue is that like I'm doing all of this on a laptop. So it's not great for me right now to do it, like to play a game. It doesn't work. I was playing like BizHawk emulator yesterday and it was lagging. Like I'm being very serious. Hold on. Elden Ring PS game. How much is this? Okay. To so, hold on, let me just find it. Guys, give me a second. It is 50 USD. Okay. We should avoid pirating. No need for emulators unless you want to play Bloodborne or Demon Souls. You can find the rest on PC games. No. The point is that I have to play it on a PS or nothing. That is the issue. If I can't play it on a PS, I can't play it on my computer because my computer is shit. I'm using a laptop for all of this. I have like, my computer is currently running on like 60% of everything. I add a game into this, it's going to be even worse. Yes, good games we should not pirate. Like pirating is also like not an issue for us, because pirating is not exactly an issue with cost or anything. It is literally an issue with availability, also cost. So like people don't initially want to pirate. I'm not going to condone piracy at this point in this situation, especially with like Elden Ring. See, like if someone wants to pay me for the Elden Ring, like it takes $50. It is $50. Yeah, it is $50. I can start because see, the thing is, is it on PS Play? Because I have PS Play Elden Ring cost. PS Plus. No, it is not. Sad. Because I am trying to play something every Sunday. Like, I'm gonna be very honest. Like the decision that I'm trying to make is like every Sunday we play a game. But I'm not sure which. Elden Ring really sounds decent about it. We can play Elden Ring, no worries. I'm going to start collecting money to actually pay for it. Because after the discount, play a horror game, 50 subs. Thank you. Like we have this here. What kind of games do you like? I personally like games like which are open world, immersive, like Breath of the Wild, TOTK, where I can just relax my brain a bit, because my brain is very electrocuting myself every 5 seconds. Bro, when I get money, I plan on buying games as collector editions. All the best. Have you played Firewatch? No. Open world like Minecraft? Yeah. Open world like Minecraft. I used to play Minecraft. See, the thing with me gaming is I game for relaxing. I game for, because my brain is already very fucking stressed. 2274 INR. Yeah, that's 25. Oh, that's nice. Maybe I can. My time in Sandrock is pretty good for that. Oh. I will have a look. Oh, it's a farming emulator. Okay. No, my partner would love this. I'm gonna get her to play. That's cute. I like it. I like it. Bye bye guys, I need to study a bit, or at least try lol. Ciao ciao. Maybe Firewatch. But we'll do one every Sunday. That I can guarantee you as much. Maybe I can get, hold on, who's missing me? Okay. Anyway, guys, we have to finish up quickly, okay? What about Black Souls? Black Souls games? What? What's a Black Soul? Oh, Jesus Christ. Emphasizing again, Exit 8 is a horror game. At least takes 20 minutes to beat if you're average IQ. Or Infinity Nikki is also open world gacha. No, I'm not going to play gacha. That is free. It's cozy BOTW style, but your powers are in your outfits. It's a fashion game. Oh, okay. Anyway, we have to finish soon. I have to go walk Sarin. Basically at this. Oh, but Nikki, Infinity Nikki sounds nice. Looks nice.
The only thing that can control Trump now, really, is the financial and the big tech bros in America, American public opinion. And I think when the full implications of the nature of this setback for America really are digested in American public opinion over the next couple of weeks, it is going to make it very difficult for America to return to the fight if they can't get what they want in these negotiations. But I come back to my point. already Trump has conceded that these 10 points are a basis for negotiation. So in a sense, he's given the initiative already to the Iranians.
Can I ask you, therefore, in conclusion, the biggest takeaway, would it be right to say that in an asymmetrical war, where one side had all the military might on its side, had this bombing campaign, does it show that a country with drones and cheap missiles, or cheap drones certainly, has been able to show that in asymmetrical warfare, you can't take victory for granted? And that's the biggest mistake that Donald Trump made. He thought Iran was Venezuela.
I think you're absolutely right. As Henry Kissinger wrote in a different context about Vietnam, the guerrilla wins if he does not lose. The conventional army loses if it does not win. In this case, it is Iran that is the guerrilla, the asymmetric force, and America the conventional army. And that is precisely what has happened.
A final word then. If you were advising Donald Trump, what would you tell Donald Trump, General Sharif? Now, what would you tell him, given that, as I said, the negotiations are set to begin in 2 days? What would you be advising the US president and, dare I say, the Israeli prime minister, who seems far more determined to go ahead with the war?
Resign, go into retirement, and hand over to a rational individual who can show the necessary intellectual capabilities required of leadership of the United States of America.
Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Those are very, very sharp words that you've used today. You've suggested.
Anyway, yeah, but it's dangerous. I've spent money on even on Path of Exile, which is also free. Haha. Guys, I'm gonna have to head out. I have to walk Sarin. Today was not like a stream day that should have been, but fine. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for coming. I'm gonna head out. If you into horror games, play Rec Praxon. It's only $2. My issue with playing horror games is that it gives me the motion sickness. Yes, sorry, shit, forgot. Yeah, raid. Let me just stop going, people. I will. Scarborough, do you want a raid if you're gonna go online? Or Red Wine, do you want a raid? Sure, I will raid Kairos. The thing that I was saying, shit, let me finish. Then you can't play Alan Wake. Yes, probably. The thing is, the motion, like, because I have ADHD, I have like bad ADHD. The motion blur gives me motion sickness. I'm just, by the way, Scarborough, I'm literally waiting for you to stream someday. I keep checking. Heart rate. Oh, you okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, whenever. Motion blur can be turned off, maybe. If I'm gonna start raid, okay? 7 people.